Wicked, for Good is the second part of the Wicked movie adaptation, picking up years after the first film and focusing on the fractured friendship between Elphaba and Glinda. Elphaba, now a fugitive known as the Wicked Witch of the West, continues to fight for animal rights while Glinda has become Glinda the Good, a popular and glamorous public figure under the wizard's control. The film follows their attempts to navigate the consequences of their choices, which are complicated by the arrival of Dorothy Gale from Kansas, forever changing the land of Oz. Key plot points. Elphaba's exile. Elphaba lives in hiding in the Ozian forest, still working to expose the truth about the wizard, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Glinda's public role. Glinda is now a celebrated public figure in the Emerald City who is tasked by Madame Morrible to reassure the masses that all is well. A failing reconciliation. Glinda attempts to broker a reconciliation between herself and Elphaba, but her efforts fail, further driving them apart. The arrival of Dorothy. The arrival of Dorothy Gale from Kansas will set off a chain of events that changes Oz forever. A more mature story. As the conclusion to the story, the film explores more mature themes of love, loss, and consequence, showing how Elphaba's sister Nessarose and other characters like Bach and Fiyero are affected. The fate of Fiyero. Fiyero, who becomes a scarecrow after the events of the first film, is involved in a significant part of the plot. Emotional and thematic elements. The film is a mature and emotional exploration of the complicated friendship between Elphaba and Glinda, with a focus on their bond despite their new, opposing roles. It will feature new music, including original songs for both Elphaba and Glinda, that delve deeper into their journeys. The story concludes the journey of both women, showing that they have a lasting and powerful impact on each other. The film also shows the larger world of Oz, including the animals and other characters, as well as the larger themes of love, fate, and justice. Last year's global cinematic cultural sensation, which became the most successful Broadway film adaptation of all time, now reaches its epic, electrifying, emotional conclusion in Wicked, for Good. Directed once again by award-winning director Jon M and starring the spectacular returning cast, led by Academy Award-registered sign-nominated superstars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, the final chapter of the untold story of the Witches of Oz begins with Elphaba and Glinda estranged and living with the consequences of their choices. Elphaba, Cynthia Erivo, now demonized as the Wicked Witch of the West, lives in exile, hidden within the Ozian forest while continuing her fight for the freedom of Oz's silenced animals and desperately trying to expose the truth she knows about the wizard, Jeff Goldblum. Glinda, meanwhile, has become the glamorous symbol of goodness for all of Oz, living at the palace in Emerald City and reveling in the perks of fame and popularity. Under the instruction of Madame Morrible, Oscar-registered sign winner Michelle Yeoh, Glinda is deployed to serve as an effervescent comfort to Oz, reassuring the masses that all is well under the rule of the wizard. As Glinda's stardom expands and she prepares to marry Prince Fiyero, Olivier Award winner and Emmy and SAG nominee Jonathan Bailey, in a spectacular Ozian wedding, she is haunted by her separation from Elphaba. She attempts to broker a conciliation between Elphaba and the wizard, but those efforts will fail, driving Elphaba and Glinda only further apart. The aftershocks will transform Bach, Tony nominee Ethan Slater, and Fiyero forever, and threaten the safety of Elphaba's sister, Nessarose, Marissa Bode, when a girl from Kansas comes crashing into all their lives. As an angry mob rises against the Wicked Witch, Glinda and Elphaba will need to come together one final time. With their singular friendship now the fulcrum of their futures, they will need to truly see each other with honesty and empathy if they are to change themselves and all of Oz, for Good. Wicked, for Good also stars Emmy nominee Bowen Yang and Bronwyn James as Glinda's fawning assistants, Fanny and Shenshin, and BAFTA and Grammy nominee Sharon D. Clarke, Caroline, or Change as the voice of Elphaba's childhood nanny, Dulce Bear. The film is produced by returning Tony and Emmy-winning powerhouse Mark Platt PGA and by multiple Tony winner David Stone. The executive producers are Stephen Schwartz, David Nixay, Jared Leboff, Winnie Holzman, and Dana Fox. The first film, Wicked, released in November 2024, earned 10 Academy Award-registered sign nominations, including Best Picture, and won the Oscars registered sign for costume design and production design. To date, the film has grossed $750 million worldwide. Wicked, for Good is based on the generation-defining musical stage play with music and lyrics by legendary Grammy and Oscar-registered sign-winning composer and lyricist Stephen Schwartz and book by Winnie Holzman, from the best-selling novel by Gregory Maguire. The screenplay is by Winnie Holzman and Dana Fox. The film score is by John Powell and Stephen Schwartz, with music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz.